All right, I should return to Japan and wrap things up. A decision was made, the tone practical and decisive. Oh, done. Skill Shadow Exchange, LVL2, class-specific skill. No mana cost. You may swap locations with a Shadow Soldier. Skill cooldown is 3 hours. Cooldown is dependent on skill level. Cooldown, 1 hour 54 minutes 11 seconds. 1 hour and 54 minutes. What should I do for 2 hours? Now that I actually have free time, I'm not sure what to do. I don't have anyone to call either. I think I do. All right, let's see if I can find any ownerless dungeons. The monologue revealed a plan, a way to pass the time. It's completely silent, a voice observed, a hint of unease creeping in. Still no noise, even after I dropped the glass. What is going on? Who's there? The voice demanded, a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. If you ever need help, please call this number. Chairman Go-Gun, he will connect you with him. The message was clear, a lifeline offered in a moment of uncertainty. Is this what they predicted would happen? Who are you people? You won't be able to save anything if you keep fighting while trying to help the humans. Fragment of the brilliant light monster, Ton. The voice was menacing, filled with contempt. What the hell are you saying? Shut up, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the man up there connected to you. Don't take me for a damn pushover. I'm taking at least one of you down with me. Spiritual body manifestation by a mere human. Perish, you damn monsters. A battle cry echoed, a challenge to the unknown. Status, name, Sung Jin-Woo. Level 122. Class, Shadow Monarch. Title, Demon Hunter, 2 others. HP 65,230. MP 115,160. Fatigue 0. Strength 292. Stamina 281. Agility 305. Intelligence 310. Perception 277. AP 0. Physical damage reduction 65%. Skill, passive skills, unknown. LV Max Tenacity, LV1 Master of Daggers, LV Max Active Skills, Quicksilver, LV Max Bloodlust, LV2 Mutilate, LV Max Dagger Rush, LV Max Stealth, LV2 Ruler's Authority, LV Max Class-Specific Skills, Active Skills Shadow Extraction, LV2 Shadow Storage, LV2 Monarch's Territory, LV2 Shadow Exchange, LV2 Item Equipped Items, Red Knight's Earrings, S-Demon Monarch's Earrings, S-Demon Monarch's Necklace, S-Demon Monarch's Ring, S-Truth Seeker's Top, a Truth Seeker's Gloves, a Truth Seeker's Pants, a Truth Seeker's Shoes. The monologue was a recitation of statistics, an overview of power and abilities. All these people gathered here today because they wanted to see you. We don't have an exact number, but we estimate there are over 100,000 people. Guess this is my last day in Japan. My king, your people are paying respect to you. Perhaps you should raise your hand at them in acknowledgement. You've got it all wrong, Barrow. A correction was offered, a different perspective. I wonder what's the chance of coincidentally being seated next to someone you know on a plane? You're not going to claim this is a coincidence? I hope it'd be great if you thought it was, but I suppose that it'd be pushing it. Hello again, Mr. Adam White. Oh, we only met once, but you still remember me? It is an honor to meet you again. Well, Barry was the one that told me his name. My king, his name is Adam White. You must not get the name wrong this time. It will worsen your reputation as the king. Wasn't the deal called off? I am aware I am stepping out of bounds by coming to see you without prior notice, but I have an urgent matter to discuss. Did the U.S. also fail to stop the S-rank gate? Oh no, that has been taken care of without any problems. Please take a look at this. We can't put it out. This is no ordinary fire. Hey, stay back. You'll get burned to a crisp from just an ember. Jesus Christ, where's our backup? When's our backup coming? What is this video here? If you watch the end, the man who started the fire was Christopher Reed, one of the National Authority hunters. 1,800 firefighters and 14 top-level mage-type hunters were mobilized to put out his flame. For the fire to be this intense, there must have been a fight. Does that mean Christopher is a monster? We couldn't believe it either, but he was already inactive when we found him. And this is the photo of the man who the Hunter Bureau suspects was responsible. The video was a revelation, showcasing a startling betrayal. Other guy, if this is some kind of a joke, You're not getting out of here alive. Stop. Don't. The man in the picture came out of a dungeon. It may not be the person you think it is. Dungeon. The magic energy he emitted matched that of a monster, and he attacked our S-rank hunters without warning too. Do you remember the explosion incident at the Hunter Bureau's HQ a few months ago? The one that was on the news globally. Yuri saying my father was behind it. Tap. After he beat down our hunters, he disappeared, after which, the Hunter Bureau searched for him in secret. But there was not a trace to be found, as if he vanished into thin air. I understand how you feel, but the fact of the matter is, his profile suggests he is the most likely culprit responsible for this. The explanation was grim, a picture of a potential enemy. And why exactly did you show me this photo? The International Guild Conference. In this year's conference, where the representatives of the world's leading guilds will gather, the American Hunter Bureau intends to issue a red notice for this man. In other words, the investigation will no longer be kept a secret. The stakes were raised, the conflict becoming public. In other words, the investigation will no longer be kept a secret. The American government lost a valuable asset and national authority rank hunter from this incident. They are prepared to put all hands on deck to capture the culprit. We, at the Hunter Bureau, wanted to maintain good relations with you, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo, which is why I came here to inform you about this before the public announcement. The message was clear, a heads up before the storm. Imagine, even, you would be shocked if you saw a photo of your father in an event you were invited to. My father, who went missing 10 years ago, returned as a monster. Are you all right, sir? I'm fine. I train telekinesis. It's on a completely different level to high-ranked magic hunters who can move objects. I thought only national authority rank hunters were capable of telekinesis of this power. No, this man is the 6th national authority rank hunter. The revelation was significant, a new player on the world stage. I need to inform the vice chairman about this as soon as I can. The International Guild Conference, an important event where guilds representing each country are invited to discuss current events and future prospects of the hunter world. A few days ago, the American Hunter Bureau announced the list of invited guilds: USA Scavenger, Tom, Mexico, Sicario Guild, Aloe, Korea, Argent Guild, Sun, Italy, AIA Advidi Guild, Fabi, Argent Guild of Korea. The participation became a hot topic worldwide. The scene was set for a global meeting. The only top-ranked hunter registered to the Argent Guild was just Sung Jin-Woo, the guild master. However, the American Hunter Bureau recognized the fact that this man alone possessed enough strength to rival a great number of guilds with many top-ranked hunters. The spotlight was on a single individual. There's been a lot of discussion surrounding the issue of the Argent Guild being invited to this year's conference instead of the Hunters Guild. What are your thoughts on this matter, Guild Master of the Hunters Guild, Hunter Choi Jong-in? I believe the American Hunter Bureau made the obviously correct decision. The response was curt, assertive. Obviously correct, you say? Not understandable. The questioning continued. Yes, that I definitely believe that is the case. However, wouldn't you agree it isn't an over-exaggeration to say the Argent Guild is essentially just a one-man show? Yes, but that man is Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. If you define guild members as those who are combat capable, I believe Hunter Sung Jin-Woo possesses hundreds of guild members. As someone who has seen his performance in the Jeju Island Gate incident and the recent event, I would say the Argent Guild would not lose out to any guild from any country. By the way, did the Argent Guild not apply for the permit again? Yes, so doctor, there hasn't been much of anything from them recently. It's been 4 days since Hunter Sung Jin-Woo returned from Japan. The god of dungeon destruction has yet to show up to any gate. Still, while all the major guilds in Seoul are celebrating, I'm not like Bakuno from the White Tiger Guild or Intagu from the Faint Guild. You'd be no different to a simple ape if you were happy to find an apple fallen from a tree. Even so, our profits have increased by 40% thanks to the lack of competition from the Argent Guild. The sentiment was a mix of envy and satisfaction. Found a simple ape? Pardon me? No, it's nothing. Does the association know anything about this? Before his rank reassignment test, he cleared multiple gates a day, and when he became an S rank, he even began to clear gates in other guilds' territories. For someone that recently cleared an S-rank dungeon break in Japan all by himself is awfully quiet. The behavior was clearly out of character. There has been a request for Hunter Sung Jin-Woo's data from China. His personal information? No, sir. Then what they requested for? His raid records and any related official reports. Of course, and not even China would expect to get personal information on a top-rank hunter, but why the sudden interest in Hunter Sung Jin-Woo? They should know very well that Hunter Sung does not entertain any negotiations from any country. The request did not come from the Chinese government, sir. It's from an individual. An individual? It seems China's 7-star ranked hunter, Lu Zhigan, has taken an interest in Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. The stakes were raised, a personal interest taking center stage. China did not adopt the international standard for ranking hunters and instead used their own. The highest rank was the 5-star rank. However, one person was given the 7-star rank. That was Lu Zhigan. That Lu Zhigan is interested in Hunter Sung Jin-Woo? Lu Zhigan had fought the giant-type monster. Yes. Perhaps that is why he has taken an interest in Hunter Sung Jin-Woo, who had taken out all the giants. The strong recognizes the strong, who rejected that request, or just send him rudimentary data. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo is expected to arrive in the U.S. tomorrow. It's already the day before. Huh? Did you call me, sir? Oh, perfect timing. There's something I need to tell you. Yes, I'll get straight to the point. Do not mess with Sung Jin-Woo, Mr. Hwang. A warning was delivered with a clear sense of authority. I know what happened between your brother and Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. I'm sure you have your suspicions and want to know what exactly happened, but I don't recall giving you permission to speak. Just keep your mouth shut. Not many people can give such a threatening warning to a top-rank hunter, as expected of Thomas, but that man, Hwang Dong-su, also has a strong sense of obsession for his targets. Don't ever lay your hands on Sung Jin-Woo. Go take a break in one of the villas owned by the guild during the conference period. Well, will you accept my plea, Mr. Hwang? All right, good. That's you can leave. Is it taken care of now? No way. He's over it just from that? Laura, keep Mr. Hwang under strict surveillance until Sung Jin-Woo leaves the U.S. Will he accept this? Well, being a little frustrated is better than being inactive, I'm sure. The story concluded on a note of impending conflict, with tensions running high. USA. The word was spoken, a destination reached. Why are there so many reporters? A voice wondered, a hint of surprise evident. That Korean hunter everyone's talking about is scheduled to arrive today. Another voice explained, setting the scene. ODOT is coming. Representative of Germany, Richter Guild, Leonard Neerman. Another voice identified, the names of influential figures echoing. Speak of the devil, he's right there. Astras, should we go and exchange greetings? No harm in getting acquainted with a strong hunter. The tone was suggestive, an opportunity identified. Aren't you going to speak to him? A voice asked. You don't see that? What? He doesn't summon his creatures from a different dimension, but has them around him at all times instead. A revelation, a new understanding of power. He could even go to war with the USA with those numbers. Do you see someone you recognize, Hyunin? No, but some foreigner is staring at me. Your name is all over the news, so obviously you'll have plenty of fans. Maybe they want your autograph. Anyway, why are you here, Chief Jinchul? I'm here as Hunter Sun's bodyguard. Huh, what was that? Bodyguard for him? Bodyguard for who? I think those people are our escorts. We were waiting for your arrival, Hunter Sun. Didn't you work for the Asian branch of the Bureau, Mr. White? Haha, yes, I was until recently. Now I'm in charge of matters involving you. Hunter Sun, your companions will be escorted to a hotel. Jinho, go first with Chief Jinchul. Yes, I'm in. And could you come with us, Hunter Sun? Is it about my father? It's something that will most certainly be beneficial for you, Hunter Sun. A division of the group, a path set for the protagonist. I've already explained to you what the U.S. Hunter Bureau thinks of you, haven't I? Is the subject matter a secret? Some of the topics would fall under the top secret category, yes. Where are we going? We are on our way to the Hunter Bureau's headquarters. The Hunter Bureau, frankly, we are currently under serious pressure. Hunter Christopher was one of the pillars of the United States' strength, and now that he's gone, we are desperately trying to fill the void he left. Things are still quiet because his passing is not yet public, but we will soon begin to do everything in our power to find a hunter who could replace him. And I am one of your candidates, a voice stated, recognizing the opportunity. Yes, you are also well aware. The value of a rune stone is proportional to the power of the monster the stone was extracted from. Secret file. The worst calamity in the history of mankind. The raid everyone wants to forget about, Dragon Kamish. We are looking for a new owner of the runestone extracted from the dragon. What do you think of our new offer? The photos. Can you go back, please? Pardon me. I want to see the photo before this one. You mean the photo of Kamish's body? Has the U.S. stopped storing the corpse of Kamish? A negotiation was underway. A deal discussed? Why, yes, we have it. Where is this? Let's go there first. What I've been willing to give up my time for. The Hunter Bureau. Surely I have the right to ask for this much. The extent of my knowledge is only what the higher-ups allowed me. Even I do not know where the corpse of Kamish is stored, however. If it was your request, I believe they'd be happy to oblige. May I ask you to wait while I make the report? We'll both have to wait, so we might as well go and wait there together. A deal struck, a path chosen. So, you're saying Hunter's son is here right now, in the rhinestone. Did he say anything about it? No, sir. He hasn't said anything about the rhinestone all day. Oh my goodness. So all he really wants is to look at the corpse? I'm going to need to discuss this with the deputy director first. Could you wait outside? Very well, sir. Do you have an idea of why he wants to look at Kamish's body? I couldn't say. One thing we can be sure of is that he is not a tourist. The value of a skill is unimaginable. Top hunters are more than happy to spend a large sum of money to purchase rhinestones. A skill is a hunter's power, and power is equal to a hunter's survival. And yet, if he would rather see the corpse, it may mean he could attain something more valuable than a skill. Wasn't his ability limited to monsters he took out? Wait, what if he could create summons out of corpses of monsters that were gone a long time ago from someone else's hands? He is planning to make Kamish one of his summons? What if that is true? It cannot happen. An individual must not be allowed to wield that much power. But sir, if we deny his request, it may be difficult to maintain an amicable relationship with him. Fu, all right, I will escort him myself. Why, this might be a good opportunity to have a look at his ability myself. I wish to speak to you in a more relaxed context, but I suppose this is what you would prefer. I can't believe they built the Hunter Bureau's HQ on the spot Kamish was defeated. This way, please, there's magical energy in the air. If there are residues of its energy after 8 years had passed, I wonder how powerful it will be once it's turned into a soldier. It managed to overcome hundreds of elite hunters, and was only overcome by the 5 remaining National Authority hunters. Its body has been perfectly preserved since its fall. All of the electricity used in this building is provided by Kamish's magic crystal. Are you satisfied now? Hunter's son, please stand back. A power was revealed, a confrontation unavoidable. Are you sure about this, sir? It's fine. I already allowed it. Let's all watch what's about to unfold. A test of power, the anticipation rising. Arise. A single command, a moment of truth. Shadow extraction failed. 2 more attempts remaining. The challenge was laid bare, the stakes made clear. Fu, arise. The story ended with a tension-filled silence, the outcome hanging in the balance. Were you the one that summoned me, King of the Dead, Shadow Monarch? The question was delivered with a chilling authority, a presence commanding attention. WH, what the hell? 10, what is that human? Humans, I must cease to exist. I will stop all of you. The words were a declaration of intent, a primal rage unleashed. That glass was enhanced by a top-ranking hunter's magic. A voice observed, a technical analysis delivered amidst chaos. Sir, you must evacuate. That's Kamish's breath. A warning was issued, a desperate plea for safety. You think we'll be safe by running away enough? The magic crystal embedded in your head was removed long ago. You do not need to obey the ruler's orders. A challenge was made, an attempt to break free from control. Is Hunter Sung Jin-Woo speaking monster tongue right now? I can't believe what I'm seeing. So, this is how it feels to submit to the Shadow Monarch. The confusion was palpable, a blend of disbelief and awe. This lowly servant who once served the Dragon Emperor pays respect to the new monarch. A declaration of allegiance, a shift in loyalty. You serve the Dragon Emperor? That is correct, my lord. I serve the king of Berserk Dragons, the monarch of destruction. This incredible rage. I didn't know a shadow soldier could possess such a powerful ego. It's on a completely different level to all of the monsters I've ever seen. I can tell it possessed incredible power, sir. Is it? Is it wagging its tail? A mixture of fascination and bewilderment filled the air. The king of the dead, Shadow Monarch, and the king of giants, Monarch of the beginning, it must be one of the 9 monarchs mentioned by the system. Regrettably, my king, I must bid you farewell. It seems our meeting came about far too late. My lord, not even the power of the Shadow Monarch can combat the passage of time. System, I truly envy your majesty. Soldiers that can serve you for all eternity. My king, there were 4 human beings who borrowed the power of the rulers. Please be wary of them. It has been my honor to be in the presence of my new king. The words were a farewell, a warning, and a testament to power. Shadow extraction has failed. The target's shadow has returned to the emptiness of the void. Too much time has elapsed since the target's passing. Further attempts of extraction will be ineffectual. A message from the system, a confirmation of failure. Mr. White, please relay my apology to the director. I will cover for the repair costs as much as I can. An attempt to smooth over the situation. Sure. A simple response, a promise. Hunter's son, why couldn't we get a hold of you? Oh, I was somewhere without reception for a short while. Then have you met with Hunter Eugene-ho? Pardon? He left after you contacted him. You told him you were waiting for him at the Hunter Bureau? I just returned from there. What are you talking about? Hunter Eugene-ho was not in the visitor's log. Confusion and uncertainty filled the air. What? That can't be right. A hunter from the Scavenger Guild came to fetch him about 2 hours ago. Although the Scavenger Guild has a close relationship with the Hunter Bureau, they do not take care of our own matters. Asking them about this directly should be the best course of action. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? An intuition, an unspoken fear. You are saying we escorted the vice leader of the Arjun Guild? Don't tell me, does Hunter Sung Jin-Woo also know about this? No, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo hasn't heard the news yet. Hunter Eugene-ho's companions had asked us, while Hunter Sung Jin-Woo was at the bureau. Then, we shall get to the bottom of this as soon as we can. Hunter's son, the Scavenger Guild said they'll investigate, so they should get back to us soon. A response, an attempt to provide assurance. Hello? This is my fault. After I used Shadow Exchange to save Chairman Yo, with my own hand back then, I didn't assign a soldier to Jin-ho. If something like that were to happen again, arise. Find him. A decision, a plan set in motion. He's done it now. Hwang Dong-su. Find Hwang Dong-su before Sung Jin-Woo does whatever it takes. We must find him first. A race against time. The stakes clearly defined. Smith, how are you doing these days? The question was casual, a facade masking the underlying tension. Sir, our store policy doesn't allow returns based on customers' changes of mind, came the stiff response, a rejection of any friendly overtures. Why weren't you at the party last night? Could he have left the city? But Jin-ho's a combat-type D-rank hunter. Normal people wouldn't be able to take him, even in significant numbers. If a car supposedly headed for the Hunter Bureau's headquarters suddenly tried to leave the city, Jin-ho would surely notice something is wrong and resist. A detailed analysis of the situation, a growing concern. The only clue the culprits left behind was that they are with the Scavenger Guild. A crucial piece of information, a lead to follow. So, did you meet up with Hunter Eugene-ho? A direct question, seeking answers. Excuse me, he left as soon as he received your message. The Scavenger Guild, Hwang Dong-suk's younger brother, Hwang Dong-su. He must have been waiting for us to step foot in America for quite a while, so he could find out the truth about his brother's passing. Jin-ho and I were the sole survivors of the dungeon back then, you bastard. If you knew who my brother was, Hwang Dong-su must be certain that we were involved in his brother's fate. An explanation, filling in the blanks. I don't believe that you and an I rank got rid of Kong Taishik, a B rank. Who knew that Wei Jinseo's warning to me back then would really come true? You and one other D rank hunter were the sole survivors of the Hwang Dong-su annihilation incident a while ago. A challenge to the narrative, a disbelief. That's because I don't believe it's necessary to suspect you have been reawakened. The problem is that Hwang Dong-su's younger brother, Hunter Hwang Dong-su, may go after you. But let me warn you, just in case, because you might just lose your life if you're not careful. A dire warning, a glimpse of danger. Do you mean S-rank Hunter Hwang Dong-su? Yes. I don't regret what I did back then, but it's not that the president did not love you. It's that his expectations for you rivaled his love for you as well. Listening to this is making me feel emotional. This never would have happened if only I'd left a guard with him back then. If anything were to happen to Jin-ho, a moment of regret, a promise of retribution. Still no news? No, sir. Could it be that he's not afraid of danger? No, Mr. Hwang is an S-rank hunter. He should be aware of the difference in strength between himself and Sung Jin-Woo. So doing something so stupid despite knowing that means that he knows I'll step up on his behalf. Perhaps I've been too kind to my hunters. A logical analysis of the situation. Laura, how's the situation? An inquiry, a call for information. With the Hunter Bureau's cooperation, we've analyzed Mr. Hwang's movement patterns over the past 10 days. There were a total of 3 instances where he strayed from his usual path of activity. Send all our guys there. I'll head out now too. A call to action, a pursuit underway. Yes, sir, but wait. How do you manage to convince the Hunter Bureau, Laura? I told them that if we don't find Hwang Dong-su, you and Sung Jin-Woo will make a mess. The explanation was simple, a powerful motivator. All members of the Scavenger Guild are on the move, all 100 of them. All scheduled raids have just been canceled. All hunters are moving right now. If all members of the Scavenger Guild are on the move, that means Thomas Andre is behind this. This is big. The situation escalated, a powerful force now at play. Just what exactly is going on? The question hung in the air, a plea for understanding. Are you sure this is okay? I'm not planning on doing anything to him. There's just one thing I want to know. Master Thomas warned me not to touch Sung Jin-Woo, but I never planned on messing with Sung Jin-Woo in the first place, because there was one more person who could provide me with answers. I told him that if he told me honestly what exactly happened to my brother in that dungeon, I would let him go without a scratch. There was just one thing that I wanted to hear, that Sung Jin-Woo was the reason my brother is gone. A declaration of intent, a personal quest for information. As soon as I hear that, I'm done with you, Jin-ho. I said, wake up. He's pretty durable. I guess he's a tanker after all. Any normal human would have been inactive by now. I don't know why he's being so stubborn, this naive-looking bastard. Courage is commendable, but your stubbornness won't lead to forgiveness. A shift in tone, a growing impatience. Listen up, I don't want to harm you. This guy who's smoking behind me is a pretty decent healer, and he's going to save you whenever you're on the brink of demise, which means that until you tell me what I want to know, you'll be under this for eternity. And to add to that, we are in a factory that's been closed down for over 5 years. There's nobody here to save you, no matter how much you yell. So, what do you think? Does that make you want to talk a little bit? What? A cruel ultimatum, an attempt to break the resistance. K off. A defiant response, a refusal to yield. Mr. Hwang, be careful. I don't want to have to deal with murder for money. I'll be mindful of that now. Shall we get started? Haven't you found out enough? What are you talking about? I've only just started. A descent into chaos, the violence imminent. What's that? An orc? Is there a dungeon break nearby, or something? How peculiar. Mr. Hwang, I think it got startled after seeing you. I don't have time to mess around. A distraction, a sign that something was amiss. Exchange. A single word, a sudden shift in location. I wonder how Jin-ho was doing? A question, a growing concern. Oh, mother of our king, if there were anything our Lord cannot withstand, nobody in the world would be safe from it. Next up, we bring you news on the conference that has been organized by the U.S. Hunter Bureau. News, there's your brother. A sudden shift in perspective, a link to the present events. Really, my king? This feeling. I felt it once before as well. The king is enraged. There's said to be a lot of accidents in the dungeons these days, so let's be careful and clear it successfully. Let's not have a single casualty. A warning, an unspoken fear. Yes, sir. Asterisk, gasp. Asterisk, what's going on? B-boss. The shadows under your feet. They just went BR. A sign of impending chaos, the ground literally shifting. Yutai, how many times have I told you not to drink before raids? It's not like that. I didn't have a single drop today. The shadows really started trembling, as if they're alive. A sense of dread, a supernatural event unfolding. You know what? You should take a break today. Boss, I'm serious. A dire prediction, a need to step away from the imminent danger. Stop the car. Excuse me, I said stop the car. Damn it, that already began. I'm going to go on ahead. Follow me as fast as you can. A decision, a race against time. Yes, sir. I guess we are going to be flooded with damage compensation invoices again tomorrow. You guessed it. He should have just taken the car. Geez. The story concluded with a mix of urgency and dark humor, the events spiraling toward an unknown conclusion. Healing potions cannot be used to recover health when HP is less than 10%. Healing potions cannot be used to recover health when HP is less than 10%. Is either one of you a healer? Heal Jin-Ho, you are. The commands were urgent, a desperate need for assistance evident. We don't speak Korean. Sung Jin-Woo wants you to heal the kid. A voice translated, adding another layer to the communication breakdown. Is this the first time we've met? Sung Jin-Woo? Final warning. Heal him. You gotta ask my boss, not me. The resistance was clear, a refusal to be dictated. Are you also a healer, Mr. Hwang Dong-su? You said this job had nothing to do with Sung Jin-Woo. Are you able to heal or not? And no, the questioning was direct, a challenge to the facade. I knew it. You're the one who was responsible for my brother, Hwang Dong-su, isn't that right? A revelation, a shift in the tone of the conversation. HIM then, Hwang Dong-su 1. Hwang Dong-suk's brother, please be careful of him. A warning was given, a connection to the underlying conflict. Don't speak, Jin-Ho. Answer me, Sung Jin-Woo. Did you cause trouble to my brother and his teammates? The demand was sharp, seeking answers. You can ask him when you see him again. A cryptic response, a foreshadowing of future events. Enough. A single word, a sign of growing impatience. I told you not to mess with him, Hwang Dong-su. You're still active for now. Seems like you can understand this much. Good. Let him go. If you do, we'll forget that today's events ever happened, and if I don't, I'll have to stop you by force. A proposition, an opportunity for de-escalation. Fine by me. Yes. Very good. A challenge accepted, a battle unavoidable. You had no choice but to intervene, Thomas. Put down Sung Jin-Woo for me, Thomas. A direct order, a request for action. Do you perhaps not know who I am? A question posed, a hint of disdain. It doesn't matter who you are. He knows who I am and is still doing this. Thomas Andre grew up in a poor immigrant family. He was always surrounded by oppositions. He had nothing to his name, but the skies bestowed him with a gift, an extraordinary talent that made him indomitable. Overwhelming strength, the strength to trample on others. Through the countless number of battles he fought, he proved the worth of his talent. He observed the effects his power had against the people who opposed him. Strength, authority, wealth, force. He lived his life like a king, possessing all those different types of power. And when a different type of power appeared in the world, he took the opportunity to become a true king. He crushed those who blocked his path. Those who looked down on him were made to kneel. Violence was the key. He knew from experience how to deal with those who didn't submit to him. Blame your own ignorance. This is the place, hurry. A detailed explanation, highlighting the power and influence of the character. Thomas, Master, are you all right? A voice of concern, a moment of vulnerability. What are you all doing? Get moving. Take Jin-Ho to the nearest hospital. Make sure that he gets treated, no matter what. A command issued, a priority clearly defined. All right, now we are talking. This looks like it'll be worth my time. I don't give a damn about Hwang Dong. So now there is only one way to restore my pride. I'm going to put down that arrogant son of a bitch. A declaration, a clear goal established. Thomas, a voice called out. A shift in tone. Master, are you all right? What are you all doing? Get moving. Take Jin-Ho to the nearest hospital and make sure he gets treated, no matter what. An order delivered, a sense of urgency clear. All right, now we are talking. This looks like it'll be worth my time. I don't give a shit about Hwang Dong. So now there is only one way to restore my pride. I'm going to put down that arrogant son of a bitch. A promise delivered. A sense of impending conflict hanging in the air. It's not too late to admit your mistakes and back off. I'll at least spare your life if you do so now and apologize. The offer was clear, a chance to retreat with dignity. You bastard, how dare you? A furious response, a rejection of any compromise. You'll regret not having taken this last chance. A warning, a clear indication of what was to come. Those guys don't stand a chance, a voice observed, a grim assessment of the situation. Move, a command was issued, an order to get into position. You looking down on a nation-level hunter? A question, a display of pride. Psychokinesis. An ability was unleashed, a display of power. Feel the difference in our strengths and despair. A challenge was posed, a taunt before the clash. What the? Is he planning on crushing me like this? No, it's as if he's me, fixed in place. This bastard, even as he's getting pulled in towards me, he chooses to attack. A moment of realization, an understanding of the power at play. I'm bleeding, a voice murmured, a sign of injury. What did you say just now? Feel the difference in our strengths and despair? A taunt was repeated, a callback to the previous boast. All right, open. I'll stop underestimating you now. Reinforce cement. A new approach was adopted, the challenge met with an equal display of force. Mr. White, it's about time you tell me what's going on here. There's no time to be explaining everything. A demand for answers, a growing impatience. Indeed, what's going on? You might not be able to tell as a normal civilian, but if we go any further than this, we'll be risking our lives. The stakes were laid bare, a glimpse of the true danger. At that moment, Sung Jin-Woo thought, there are 4 humans who borrowed the ruler's strengths. Perhaps they are among the 5 who survived the Kamish raid. That is, they are 4 of the nation-level hunters. And Thomas Andre was no exception. A realization, a connection to the past, and a shift in understanding. Get away from Master. Move now. A desperate plea, an attempt to protect a powerful figure. What incredible strength. It's like a black hole. I would have gotten pulled in if it weren't for the ruler's authority, a voice expressed. I won't miss this time. A final, determined statement was made, the tone resolute. The narrative was fast-paced and engaging, with the dialogue conveying the mounting tension and power dynamics between the characters. It effectively built anticipation for the upcoming conflict. The lack of overt descriptive language allowed the imagination to fill in the details, creating a more immersive experience for the reader. Take the people who were caught in the crossfire. Get as far away from Master as possible. The orders were clear, a focus on evacuating those at risk from the impending clash. Skill, ruler's authority, activating. A power surged, a distinct shift in the atmosphere. He's pulling me this time, accelerating even more. Is he thinking of taking me head-on? Fine. Let's do this. Reinforcement. A challenge was acknowledged, a response prepared. My God, so much magical power. What monsters are fighting? This is going to be dangerous. You should steel your heart. The observers were stunned, a recognition of the sheer force being unleashed. If I'm not mistaken, that was Mr. Thomas Andre. The identification was made, a confirmation of the high-stakes confrontation. Mr. White, what do we do now? We have to stop them, of course. Stop them? How are we going to stop him? Mr. Thomas is getting pulverized by Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. How? How can a magic-type hunter possess this much strength and speed and mind? Am I going to be defeated? That's impossible. No, that must not happen. A flurry of questions, a mix of disbelief and desperation. My strength to overwhelm my foes is my sole reason to be. A declaration, a self-affirmation of power. I am Thomas Andre. Don't you dare think you'll overcome me with justice. Like I said, a challenge thrown down, a refusal to be bound by notions of fairness. It doesn't matter who you are. A calm retort, a dismissal of any attempts to intimidate. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo, that's enough. Please stop now. A plea was made, a last attempt to avoid further conflict. If I lose, it's my loss. A final statement, acceptance of the potential outcome. He beat that Thomas Andre to that pitiful state. How many hunters are there in this world that can do this to him? Is there even any other? If this is ever known, the public will go wild. Treat him now. Every single bone in his body is damaged and is bleeding badly. I don't think I can do this alone. We'll need everyone. He could only withstand this because he's a national authority hunter. Any other hunter would have been taken down more than 10 times if they suffered the same level of damage. The aftermath was analyzed, the magnitude of the battle clear. No one seems to have passed, or a burger, my leg. I guess this isn't too bad, all things considered. Mr. White, Hunter Hwang Dong-su isn't breathing. His heart isn't beating either, and Hunter Sung Jin-Woo has disappeared. An assessment of the situation, a tally of losses, and a mysterious disappearance. I exchanged positions with Barry using Shadow Exchange. You haven't been in Korea in a while, right? You're looking at Seoul. Baru is probably healing Jin-Ho to the best of his abilities in America right now, my king. I plead that you bestow me with a name as well. LV1 general rank. You were unsuccessful because you were being greedy, so how about I name you Greed? What do you think? Hwang Dong-su, thank you, my king. All right, now put your head back on the floor. International Guild Conference. There's a lot of reporters. It seems they've already heard about your clash. I'm afraid you won't be able to avoid attention today. A moment of respite, a conversation between comrades about a name. So this is the man who did that to the Scavenger Guild. We got the testimonies from Hunter Hwang Dong's accomplices. The Hunter Bureau will give an official debriefing of the incident soon. I don't want to think about that incident anymore. There is only one reason why I came to America. Once I find out what I want to know, I'm done here. I will translate what they are saying for you through these earpieces. A plan was affirmed, the driving purpose clear. Is that the Asian hunter who overcame Thomas Andre until he was nearly inactive? A question filled with awe, a recounting of a recent, stunning event. Apparently, he played a significant role in the Tokyo Gate incident. To have utterly overwhelmed Thomas, who had been reigning over other hunters like a king. I can't believe it. The disbelief was palpable, a recognition of the magnitude of the achievement. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Belzer. I'm sure you are all aware that the number of gates being generated has surged, and that stronger monsters have started to appear. But not many of you may know that unusual activity has been detected above the skies. It's been widely reported that the magical energy concentration being absorbed into the atmosphere is becoming increasingly greater. But I want to refer to this magical energy found in the atmosphere differently. Until we are able to find a more appropriate term to call it, how about we refer to it as the magosphere? Do you know that this magosphere is currently gathering above the skies of several countries? We have observed this phenomenon in a total of 9 places, and out of all those places, the magosphere is most concentrated here, that is, Seoul, South Korea. A presentation, a scientific explanation of a growing, global anomaly. South Korea? South Korea? That's a reaction, a recognition of the significance of the information. There's no need to look at Mr. Sun like that. If he's the one herding around the magosphere above the sky, then he's already past the realm of a hunter. After all, 9 places, could this perhaps be related to the number of sovereigns? As we do not know its cause, there's nothing we can do to deal with it at the moment. However, just because it is not possible to deal with that doesn't mean that there isn't a need to deal with what may be faced if the world is to face a great change once again. A mix of awe and concern. A speculation on the nature of the phenomenon. Dr. Belzer, is that the end of the presentation? Yes, then I'll take it from here. I have something urgent to announce to the hunters that have gathered here today, and it is with a heavy heart that I deliver this news. Around 2 weeks ago, Hunter Christopher Reed was taken down by a group of unidentified assailants. The news was a bombshell, a shocking announcement. Nation-level Hunter Christopher Reed, taken down? Is this a joke? No way. The only one who can take down a nation-level hunter is someone with equal strength. What if it was that guy who confronted Thomas yesterday? A mix of disbelief and speculation, the conversation turning to the previous events. The news of Christopher Reed will be officially released tomorrow. Please listen carefully without misunderstanding. There is a man we suspect to be the perpetrator of this crime. The announcement was specific, a focus on a single individual. Suspect? Then the culprit isn't Sung Jin-Woo, who confronted Thomas, but that Asian man's face looks just like someone else who's sitting right here. Don't turn around. Don't turn around. They just look alike. They just look alike. All Asians look similar to us anyway. But no matter how I look at it, a mix of fear and prejudice, a sense of unease in the room. Cban, scummy mods of the solo leveling Discord over, please stop uploading Azura scans chapters into Imager and deleting our credit page. I figured I'd write it here, otherwise, you'll just keep doing it. A strange interjection. A message from another world. Hanks, why is father? Dungeons are the territory of the rulers. My king, there were 4 humans in total who borrowed the strength of the rulers. Please be wary of them. I don't know why the rulers sent a monster in the form of my father. Perhaps it has to do with what Kamish had said. The man found in a gate in the U.S. was determined to be a monster who was capable of speaking the human language. Moreover, we requested the aid of S-rank hunter Hwang Dong-su, who spoke Korean, to lead the interrogation. But I'll have to make you talk by force. Then how arrogant. He took down Hunter Hwang Dong-su in the middle of the interrogation and brought the Hunter Association headquarters down in a sea of flames. The culprit was powerful enough to overcome Hunter Hwang Dong-su, who acted as a member of the main force in the Scavenger Guild. Strong humanoid monsters like him who escaped from the dungeon may have targeted Hunter Christopher Reed together. This is the conclusion that we have come to at the Hunters Association. A detailed report, a connection between seemingly disparate events. He's talking to him. Don't you ever set foot in Korea. I say this not for my son, but for you. Or you won't be able to rest even after your end greed. A warning delivered, a promise of future retribution. It's as you suspected, mileage, there's no doubt about it. That man is my father. We plan on requesting the aid of all guilds around the world to apprehend Suspect S, and ask that you contact us immediately upon discovering him. An order, a call for global cooperation. Is there any proof that Suspect S is not a human? His magic emission completely matches that of a monster. Next question. It said that he claimed himself to be a human who went missing in a dungeon. Did the hunter he described really exist? Yes, it was a real person. Next. Then how come you won't reveal the hunter's identity? He's connected to one of the hunters present here, and so we've decided not to reveal that information. Any further questions? Still, wouldn't it be more helpful to reveal his identity in pursuit of his arrest? The questions were sharp, a challenge to the official narrative. Chief, China's 7-star hunter, Li Shiguang. I'll be direct about this. What's the monster's relation to Hunter Sung Jin-Woo? A demand was made, seeking a direct answer. Well, if Hunter Li really wants to know, I guess we have no choice. During the questioning, Suspect S revealed himself to be Hunter Sung Jin-Woo's father, and we are carrying out our investigation assuming this is true. A bombshell, a shocking revelation. Assuming this is true, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo, if Suspect S turns out to be your missing father, and other hunters attempt to apprehend him, what will you do? It's only right that hunters seek out monsters, and if he is indeed a monster, then I'll take care of him myself. But if he is not a monster, but rather, truly my father, then friends are my friends. The response was a clear declaration, setting the stage for a potential conflict. I'm here to save Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. Hwang Dong-su, be careful of Hwang Dong-su's younger brother. I'll simply take out the hunters, then I will protect my family, even if that means I'll make an enemy of every single hunter in the world. A personal declaration, a willingness to stand against the world. Conference, did you mean it, what you said back there? Yes, to say such a thing in front of 500 of the strongest hunters in the world from over 120 different countries. There are probably only 2 hunters, yourself included, who would dare to say something like that. A remark of awe, a recognition of the character's resolve. And who's the other person? He's in the hospital right now. The response was simple, a reminder of the cost of conflict. There will be a feast in just a moment. The Hunters Associations put a lot of care into organizing it, so if you aren't too busy, perhaps you could dine with other hunters. An invitation, a moment of respite. What she is saying is that he caught a giant monster that you let slip away on the coast of China. You know how to speak Chinese too? I am in charge of the Asia branch, after all. I can speak all Asian languages fairly well. Keep translating, please. Yes, sir. He says he was surprised to find that the giant monster was stronger than he expected, and that it was even more difficult as the battle took place on water. He says he's been wanting to meet you ever since. That is, he's been curious to see what kind of hunter could overcome such powerful monsters so easily, and he says he's happy you put Hunter Thomas in his place. He says he has no doubt that Hunter Thomas was in the wrong. My first impression of him was that he's just a grumpy guy, but it turns out he's a rather interesting person, and he says that is hoping for that reason, that Suspect S isn't a member of your family. The conversation concluded. An agreement reached, a sense of understanding in the air, the future unknown. See, he says he's hoping for that reason, that Suspect S isn't a member of your family. He said he doesn't ever want to engage you in conflict, so I don't think he had any ill intent. It's all right, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. A translation of intentions, an attempt at reassurance. Could you spare us some time, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo? It's been a while, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. A formal request, an acknowledgement of past encounters. It's an upgrade, Norma Selna. What does she want from me? Indeed, I never thought you'd come see me again. I've been having the same dream every night recently, of top hunters being taken out by someone, and a few days later, these dreams become reality. You mean Christopher, too? We cautioned Mr. Reed, but he wouldn't listen, and do you know how that turned out? Powerful hunters who have been supporting our world will continue to fall. Those seeking to harm these hunters will not stop. A warning, a recounting of visions, an appeal for help. So, you're here to warn me too? A question filled with skepticism, a recognition of the potential danger. No, I'm here to ask you to protect the hunters. I've been trying to remember the faces of those who got attacked in my dreams, but it was no use, so I've decided to try something else, to try to confirm their identities with my ability within the dreams. So, that time you looked into my eyes. Yes, the endless power that lies within them. Once I came into contact with it, I was forced to awaken from my sleep. I still remember vividly the voice I heard from it when we locked eyes, and what did it say? Go back and prepare for war? It's the battle between rulers of sovereigns that the king of giants spoke of. An explanation, a connection to past events, a confirmation of the coming conflict. In that case, I wonder which side the ones who are taking down the hunters are on? A question asked, an attempt to understand the bigger picture. But what does that have to do with you asking me to protect the hunters? The challenge was direct, seeking the reason for this request. Because I detected a similar power within you. I guess Madame Selna sensed the power of the Shadow Sovereign within me that day. So if she saw the same power from the hunters in her dreams, it must be the sovereigns. They are in existence beyond hunters, and we require the help of your immense power to stop them. To be honest, we weren't completely convinced when we were told that you were the only one who could protect them, but we changed our minds when we saw the battle between you and Hunter Andre yesterday. Of course, we don't expect you to help us without any compensation. We offer anything you want, even the greatest treasure that Kamish left behind, the rhinestone. A mix of persuasion and an offering of incentive, a desire to secure the hunter's help. There are hunters in this world who have received powers for blessings, and they have supported the world with their powers. If they vanish, this world will not be able to endure. I'm sorry, is this because you still have personal grudges against Hunter Andre? A connection to a previous conflict, an attempt to appeal to the hunter's personal feelings. That's not it. It's that I still don't know who I need to be engaging yet. Well, then I will protect my family, even if that means I'll make an enemy of every single hunter in the world. A firm decision, a willingness to stand apart from others. Agent White, could you give me the list of hunters they wanted me to protect? I'd appreciate it if you could provide an opportunity to meet those hunters as well. A request was made, a step towards accepting the task. Of course, last day of the International Guild Conference, hosted by the Hunters Association, the Night of the Hunters. The events were set in motion, the stage was ready for the night. How are you feeling? Good, as the new boss. When I heard that you engaged Thomas Andre, the Goliath, I looked. I know he's right in front of us, and yet I can't feel his presence at all. He's on a different level, so the hunter next to him must be. He's the one he confronted Thomas Andre to save. It's an honor to meet you, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. I'm the CEO of a global corporation specializing in dealing with monster remains. Would like to purchase all the giant monsters that you've hunted? An introduction, a meeting of different worlds. Do you have a moment? Good timing. I'm mainly in charge of the raids, and my vice chairman here is in charge of all business-related matters. I'm Arjun Guild's vice chairman, Eugene Ho. Ah yes, Dot. Nice to meet you. I usually don't talk business in these kinds of places, but just for you. The business was already underway, A casual conversation masking serious intent? He's really a proper vice chairman. Now, Hunter-san, here's the list. We've ranked the hunters by points we assign them, based on their contributions and activity. The 10 listed here are the top hunters, leading in points. If you were to accept our proposition, you would likely be asked to protect these people, so you're saying they are high priority. Hunter points, huh? Where do I rank here? If we take into account the giant monsters you took down, probably third or fourth. This is Thomas Andre, second is Li Shiguang, third is Christopher Reed, fourth is Sidorth Botchin, and fifth is What a Drag. I should just put a shadow soldier on each of them instead of memorizing all of their names. The analysis was made, a plan conceived. Well, this really is an optimal environment to place shadow soldiers on people. I'll make contact with the rulers through these hunters. This way, I'll be able to tell who's friend and who is an obstacle and who I'll need to engage. A scheme formed. The hunter prepared for the task. Hunter Sung, you won't have to worry about that. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo, allow me to ask one thing. This arm, because the damage it took from magical power was too great, the healer's healing magic is not working. The doctor also said the same thing to me, that even though it is slowly recovering, it is still far from complete recovery. If it were you, you could have single-handedly taken down my entire guild after engaging me, even amidst all the chaos. Yet, not a single guild member was taken out, excluding Mr. Hwang, who was the cause of the commotion back then. Why did you let us live? A question asked, seeking to understand the hunter's motivations. Because you did not commit a sin that deserves such a consequence. I see. I plan to have a great farewell for Mr. Hwang. He has committed a sin that warrants it. Please allow him this final tributo, and also, after my arm heals, I would like to have a meal with you. If you give my manager your contact information, I will contact you later. See, my master just showed his gratitude towards you for not harming his guild members. No matter how he looks, he's actually quite a shy person. Excuse my rudeness, but could you please tell me your contact information? My master wants to give you a gift of gratitude. Please tell me if there is anything you want. An exchange of courtesies, a connection built between rivals. I'm good, thank you. My master is very competitive, so he becomes uneasy when he feels he owes someone a favor. Anything would do. So could you please tell me something? A gift of gratitude. Huh? Maybe a useful dagger. A dagger? I understand. I appreciate your understanding. Hunter in, then shall we meet and greet the hunters that are on the list? I will be your guide. The interaction was civil, an alliance forming amidst suspicion. No, there is no need for you to do so. Is there a person missing? I don't see the rank 6 hunter. How did you? We've lost contact with him a couple of days before the conference. The secret agency and the Brazilian government both have yet to locate his whereabouts. Was he already taken care of? So that leaves 7 people, HM. It's quite strange. My heart refuses to stop shaking these days. My heart has been this way for a couple of years now, but I could feel it has been getting worse recently. Is this my limit? The doctor said that I could potentially lose my position within half a year if I keep up with this work. Since then, 1 year, 2 years have passed, and I eventually got to where I am currently. I can't do much since it seems to be my limit. I should rather be thankful that I held out for this long. Yes, nothing happened to you today, right, dear? A private conversation, a glimpse of a character's inner fears. She's such a worry. What? I was just about to go back. What's this? How could this have happened? A discovery, a new mystery about to unfold. I wonder if I could have a proper conversation with him. I couldn't sense him when he arrived. He's not someone I can take on by myself. A reflection of unease, a recognition of a formidable presence. This place has already been isolated from the outside world. Am I dreaming right now? Quick? A question asked, a sense of disorientation in the air. If this was a dream, do you think you could sense that? I guess this isn't a dream then. So I will ask you once more, who are you? I was hoping you would recognize me without me having to tell you, but it looks like you are a mere human after all. A mere human? I don't have an interest in playing around with weaklings. Reveal yourself, fragment of luminosity. Perhaps you're worried your medium will break if you do? It's bound to break sooner or later, no matter what you do. And if you're really worried about something like that, then this conversation is pointless. A challenge was issued, a demand for recognition. Ah, we made it last. A new character appeared, a presence filled with authority. The most brilliant fragment of luminosity. You isolated my office from the outside world and trapped it in a dimensional crack. Not bad. I've been looking for you for a long time. To think that you were struggling to use your true power while trapped inside a damaged medium. We have already pinpointed the locations of all 7 of your fragments, and we have already destroyed 2 of them. All I wanted was to witness the embarrassment on your prideful face before I destroy you. And now that I have seen it, I can do away with you without any regrets. A detailed recap, a declaration of intent, a challenge issued. Try it, if you can, Monarch of the Frost. So you're choosing to fight versus me, who is completely conquered. Do you really think you can land even a single blow on me? A taunt, a bold display of confidence. I need to finish this. Wow, I can still move. Is this my limit? It seems you've reached the limit of your medium. How pitiful, fragment of luminosity. The battle ensued. The end was nearing. How much time do you think it will take for you to find a new medium? I wonder, 1 year? 2 years? Unfortunately for you, our forces have already gathered. This world will be consumed before you return. Your mistake was trying to protect this world. Did you really think you could defeat me without your guardians? Cuckoo. A prediction of the future, a mocking tone. Do you really think I fought against you for no reason? Just like we weren't able to predict that you would follow our footsteps, there's something important you missed as well. Something I missed. Why boy hats? Damn, you almost had me, don't tell me. This was that important thing you were talking about? That's right. Just for this, I doubt anything would change even if this were to work now. But what could a single soldier from the abyss do against an afterimage? Don't tell me, Tisk. A sudden realization, an understanding of the plan. Who the hell are you and myself? A final question, a challenge to the hunter's identity. Who the hell are you and myself? The number of soldiers I can feel from your shadows. Monarch of Shadows. Why didn't you make contact with us even after gathering such a significant number of troops? Myself, who wasn't successfully extracted, don't tell me I was forgetting about it. But so I was right. You must be the one I was missing out on, the one that he told me about. A confrontation, a recognition of a familiar power. Is he a magic user type? A question, an attempt to classify the opponent. Why don't we stop here for today? I'm not here to engage with our lives on the line. What? Didn't you come here to save that human? Now that I think about it, this barrier is the one I placed on the chairman. Don't tell me the chairman? A change in approach, an awareness of the stakes. Now, choose, will you engage me in combat, or will you save him? An ultimatum, a demand for a decision. Skill, use authority of the ruler. The opponent's magic is resisting the authority of the ruler. A power was invoked, met with an equally powerful force. Dagger Rush. Skill, use Dagger Rush. Kaheuk. You, a mere vessel, yet you dared to put a scratch on me? Very well, I, Monarch of the Frost, will retreat for now, and wait until the next time your shadows open again. Just think of the nearly inactive human as my gift for you, to add to your shadow army. You, that bastard. A display of frustration, a retreat planned for the future. I guess I couldn't sense anything even when things got to that state because of that barrier. But damn it, it's not something I could address using a healing potion. Dairy? A mixture of anger and surprise, a recognition of the opponent's power. You called for me, my king? A loyal presence emerged, a call for aid. Save him at all costs. A directive issued, a priority defined. My king, my healing didn't work on him. Yeah, maybe the holy water of life might be able to. Please, don't, Chairman. You've come for me, thank you very much. Please wait for a bit longer. I will send you to a hospital. Amy Diatley, it's no use, and nothing can be done after taking damage from those kinds of assaults. But I had the opportunity to come in contact with a supreme being. The plan, and the remaining fight between them and us, and the things we must do, Chairman. I'm very relieved that you are here. I am very thankful that you possess such power. Thank you very much. The gates and dungeons weren't for them. It was simply a means they used to protect us. Someday, you will encounter a moment where you'll have to choose which side to stand on, and a request of you, please remain on the side of the humans, cough. I've always wanted to work together with young hunters like yourself. However, I should have known it was an impossible feat with a body like this, but I don't regret anything since I can leave things in the hands of youngsters like you. My heart has been beating thousands, tens of thousands of times, and I did realize that I didn't have much time left in me. But the reason my heart did not cease to function until now is to meet you. Yes, it was all to meet you. What a reliever. Thank you. Thank you very much. A farewell, a final request, a transfer of responsibility. Cold wind with autumn rainfall continued. Many news flashes appeared on the headlines of the news. The news that Brazil's great hunter, Jonas, was found gone in a nearby river, and that the Korean Hunter Association's chairman was attacked after being approached in his heart, and that hunter Sung Jin-Woo has returned to Korea. The situation was summarized, a grim outlook painted on a global scale. Christopher Reed, Great Hunter Jonas, and Go Gun-hee, the chairman of the Korean Hunters Association, after the news of the departures of the considerably best hunters in the world went into a state of panic. The mainstream media around the world was focused on the departures of the hunters, and the U.S. Hunter Association even issued a joint statement about this event. The impact of these events was clear: a world in chaos. Humans are protected by the hunters, but who will protect the hunters? The departure of world-class hunters worldwide, its threat was on a different level. A fundamental question was raised, challenging the very core of the current world order. Mr. Jinchil, are you all right? Oh, my apologies, dear hunter. I haven't been myself lately. That monster that took out the chairman, was it impossible to overcome even with your power? By the time I had arrived, he was already. It still doesn't feel real. Just yesterday, he told me that he wanted to hear of my stay in the U.S. He'd urged me to hurry back to the country, and now, his thank you, for endeavoring to protect the chairman in his last moments. A moment of grief, a sense of loss, a personal lament. No, I will engage it. I swear upon my life that I will engage the monster who caused harm to the chairman. I will accept your words of thanks. Then could you call the reporters? A vow, a commitment to retribution, and a call to action. After Chairman Go Gun-hee's passing, even in such a tight space, the reporters crowded the press conference like wildfire. A monster colony with very high intelligence are targeting world-class hunters. They are far stronger than many hunters out there, and they do not care about weapons or ways of confronting. By monster colony, did you mean that the monster who took down Chairman Go Gun-hee could be one of them? These monsters specialize in blocking open space by magic, then isolating their prey. Thus, to those who believe that they are bound to be the prey, it is recommended that you stay around comrades who are willing to protect you. A warning delivered, a strategy for survival revealed. I, Monarch of the Frost, will retreat for now and wait until the next time your shadows open again. The threat was clear: the adversary would return. Just think of the almost lifeless human as my gift for you, to add to your shadow army. A disturbing offer, a reminder of the opponent's power. The bastard called himself the Monarch of the Frost, Monarch of the Beginning, Monarch of the Shadows. Those who address themselves as monarchs are impossible to prevail over even with the strongest hunters. But those who do not possess any comrades of my description, please contact me through the Korean Hunters Association. A final directive was given, a beacon of hope amidst despair. The Shadow Monarch is on the surface of the earth, one figure stated, his voice a low rumble that resonated with the others. A sharp retort cut through the quiet. Didn't you say there was no vessel that could fully contain his true powers? The speaker, his frustration evident, continued. And isn't that the exact reason why the Dragon King can't remain on the surface of the earth? Another chimed in, a grim edge to his voice. I saw with my own two eyes. He's more of a threat than the fragment of brilliant light. He paused, then declared with an unsettling resolve, I will handle him. A skeptical voice challenged him. Are you willing to help me by picking a fight against him? He scoffed, you're only courting disaster. Your opponent is one of the strongest of the 9 monarchs. Then why not wait for the monarch of destruction, the Dragon King, to return? Suggested a different monarch, his tone laced with weariness. Although we are currently on the run, we are still monarchs. And yet, all we can do is wait for the Dragon King? The only opportunity we have in contending with the Shadow Monarch is now, while he is still in the form of a human. The speaker's voice took on a pleading tone. Please assist me, and I will take full responsibility and return him to nothingness. One figure shook his head, his tone firm. Count me out of this. I also have no desire to end up like the Monarch of White Flames. Another snorted, scaredy cats. Then he added, you should know what happened to the Monarch of White Flames after he was defeated. I have no intention of being trapped by the Shadow Monarch's authority and endure an endless slumber. A different monarch spoke with a hint of doubt. I don't believe he can turn us, who own our original forms, into one of his servants. It seems the Shadow Monarch and the Administrator are now working together. Another voice added, a note of concern present. He is capable of creating a replica of us. I have no interest in becoming a tool in his world. And there is evidence that he is still in a human vessel, another mentioned, his voice now a little more assured. He applied poison to his dagger. It isn't something Ashbourne, the Shadow Monarch, would do. He explained, if the Shadow Monarch could fully manipulate the human body, they wouldn't resort to such trickery. Will you be joining me? One said, his voice hopeful. That will help you. We will contend with the Shadow Monarch Tagatha. A pause filled the air, then a quiet plea. Please, reconsider the one who might be able to preserve your life when another S-class gate opens in this world. Another spoke, a sad tone present in his voice. It's all right. Even if you pay thousands of times what you paid to buy your own, you can never save your life in situations like these. When Hunter Sung Jin-Woo was fighting the ants on Jeju Island, the chairman who was watching the broadcast with me told me that now that his wish had been fulfilled, he could comfortably rest in peace. But I never thought that he would truly pass away like this. I cannot sense his magic power. One monarch stated, his tone contemplative. So I guess this method isn't very effective. Another voice broke through, reciting seemingly random details. Status XLV 133. Name, Sung Jin-Woo. Occupation, Monarch of the Shadows. Titles, Demon Hunter and 2 others. HP 78,230 MP, 136,160. Fatigue 3, Strength 308. Stamina 307. Dexterity 316. Intelligence 321. Senses 298. AP 0. Why don't we stop here for today? I am not here to battle with our lives on the line. He didn't have a shadow with him, stated a monarch. He said he was in his original form. Another added, according to what the monarch of the giants told me, the monarchs and the rulers are all in their original forms, and thus they cannot become shadow soldiers. All of the monarchs and the rulers are in their original form, and once their original form is gone, they are destroyed and cannot become a shadow soldier. Along the same lines, if monarchs do not have shadows, a great tracking source will have been blocked, another muttered. Well, it doesn't matter, one said, his eyes narrowed. As long as I am a hunter, I will never miss my prey. A different scene now, a bustling office. It has been a week since the chairman's position has been vacant. We must find a successor. The fact that an S-rank hunter was the chairman of the Hunter Association had many symbolic meanings. And now that the association, which was overseeing 5 great guilds, has lost such a great figure, who will be able to control the guilds now? Are you suggesting we hire another S-rank hunter? An anxious voice asked. Even though the higher-rank hunters are very influential, we need to take extra caution in bringing an outsider. Another spoke. Then, after long and intense discussion, the directors and I would like to recommend Wu Jinchul as the new president of the association. The man in question looked shocked. What? Why me? Another spoke. We believe that Chief Wu Jinchul most closely assisted the president and gained the most skill. He is also very capable in terms of leadership and the ability to call hunters into action. There is no law that says only an S-rank hunter can take the place as president. As a presence that casts an influence among hunters, and a presence hunters fear, we see Wu Jinchul as the perfect candidate. Looking back at how he pulled hunters together and took control of the party, I am lacking in too many other aspects to be taking such an honorable position. There are many others who are of a higher rank than me, and aren't I still too young and naive? He said hesitantly. There is the position of vice president as an option as well. Directors and managers of affiliates who have gathered here today, there are many great people like these. A concerned voice added. Yet, why am I to sit where President Go-Gun he did? Me and the other executives of the association do not have the power to move around the greatest forces of Korea. However, Inspector Wu Jinchul has the power to do so. You have connections to many great guilds, and above all, don't you have a connection to Hunter Sung Jin-Woo? I did run into him frequently, Wu Jinchul admitted, but I don't know whether Hunter Sung Jin-Woo will think of it the same way. We cannot force our decision onto Inspector Wu Jinchul, a speaker said. However, would you be willing to carefully consider accepting our proposal? Wu Jinchul paused, his mind racing. Then, with a resolve that surprised even himself, he said, I will. The scene shifted again, this time to a shadowy underground location. Master, what are you acting all startled for? You guys can sit back down, a voice said, calm and slightly amused. Are you really thinking of giving that away as a gift? Questioned a second voice. The first voice chuckled. Why wouldn't I? It's not worth the lives of me and the members of my guild? No, I don't think so. Do you believe he lacks the skill as a hunter to use this? A voice added. Then, in a tone laced with admiration, as awesome as always. There are only 2 of them in the entire world, and I'm sure that number will stay consistent throughout the future. But you're still going to give it to him? Another speaker asked. Yes, the calm voice answered. That's exactly the reason I'm going to give it to him. Don't you think it's a waste that the best of all weapons is just rotting here, gaining dust? News channels blared. Korea Hunters Association. Hunter Woo Jin-chul. Chairman Woo Jin-chul. A breathless anchor announced. Major news. Woo Jin-chul rises to the position of the new chairman of the Korean Hunter Association. A sarcastic voice muttered, They say the chairman was removed, and now a handsome man takes his place. This country and the world are unstable. In a cozy apartment, Tilda lounged, ignoring her mother, Gina, who sighed, Tilda, could you please take out the trash? No, I'm too lazy, Tilda retorted. Mom, let's move, her father called from another room. You want to move, yeah? But your mom still likes this house, Gina said softly. What do you like about this old apartment? Tilda asked, exasperated. But Mom still likes this house, dear daughter, Gina retorted playfully. Could you please retrieve the clothes from the washer? Mom, you're only busy at times like these, Tilda huffed, finally getting up. Meanwhile, hushed voices filled a hunter's office. Is it true he's in the Argent Guild's office right now? One whispered. Apparently, yes, came the reply. I can't believe it. Thomas Andre is in the Argent Guild's office. To think, Thomas Andre would come all the way to Korea, and he's in our guild office as well? Another exclaimed. And Leonard Newman, too, the strongest hunter in Germany, plus the U.S. Hunter Association, ranked 12, a nervous voice added. 2 hours have already passed since they arrived. A hunter paced, his phone pressed to his ear. Kyung-nam, pick up my calls. Thomas Andre, the Goliath, is searching for Sung Jin-Woo. Will I even see Sung Jin-Woo? Is Mr. Sung even in the office today? And yes, a voice replied, most likely is what he said. The office door slid open, revealing a disheveled man. I'm back, young Matilda. I saw reporters outside. I guess Thomas was really here, although his aura gave it away. A hunter rushed to his side. Hyunin, why weren't you picking up my calls? I was busy, Hyunin replied, glancing at his clothes. There have been a lot of gate outbreaks. I can't be lazing around. And Barry and Igress are about to rank up. A quiet voice spoke, Mr. Sun, it's been a while. Another hunter worriedly whispered, They're not going to contend with each other here, are they? A blond man with a wide grin turned to the one they called Mr. Sunday. What brings you to Korea? Didn't I promise we'd grab a meal after my recovery? I also brought a fantastic gift. He beamed, a gift, Mr. Sun. Look forward to it. Should we move to a more comfortable place? Mr. Sun asked. They're too dangerous to hand over here, the blond man replied. A dangerous item. Don't tell me it's a bomb? Hyung Min, it could be a trap, another hunter hissed. The blond man turned to a stoic figure. I'm Leonard Neiman, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. He must be here for a protection commission, one hunter reasoned. Mr. Sun, let's go, the blond man urged. Who are you to follow us? A hunter interjected. I waited 2 hours for Hunter Sun. I deserve a spot in this meeting. The figure replied. What we'll discuss is top secret, a hunter stated sharply. It's not something someone like you can barge into. Is this really how it'll go? I've never been treated this way. The figure grumbled. Let's go, Mr. Sun, the blond man urged, leading him away. In a private room, the blond man placed a covered object on a table. You don't know how long I've waited. Can you feel it? The power of this item? This is my gratitude for sparing my guild members. Mr. Sun's eyes widened. Don't tell me. This is Kamish? The blond man grinned. Impressive you recognize it. We gave up the corpse, but I kept this, Kamish's sharpest tooth. It was too short for a long sword, so I made it into a dagger. This is for you. He presented the dagger, item name, Kamish's tooth. Type, dagger, attack plus 1,500. A high-quality dagger, crafted from a dragon's canine. Its power is amplified by the user's strength, and it detects mana. Attack plus 1,500. No way, someone exclaimed. And I thought the Demon King's dagger was amazing. Another voice rattled off. Item name, Demon King's dagger. Item plus S, attack plus 220. Effect if equipped. Additional attack will apply by the amount of the strength stat. Jin-Woo held the dagger. Why, Mr. Sun, even with enhancement skills, that dagger would penetrate defenses. A hunter said nervously. Don't tell me you'll contend with me with that gift? It feels different, Jin-Woo murmured, smiling faintly, reacting greatly to my magic, almost greeting me. He turned to the blonde man. Laura, was my choice a mistake? How do you like my present, Mr. Sun? Can you take it for free? The blonde man asked mischievously. What do you mean, free? Jin-Woo retorted. This is to my advantage. I am getting a good deal for what was almost going to be the end for all the hunters in your gold. Then, I accept with pleasure. Seeing you pleased makes me happy too. Suddenly, the room shook. Mr. Sun, just now, Tivads? A terrified voice stammered, the intense magical energy gathering in Seoul. It was its true form. It's the first time I've seen one this big, bigger than the one Kamish jumped out of. Maybe the world is telling us that it has jumped out of our boundaries of common sense. The broadcast buzzed with urgency. Yes, I'm currently in Namhan, beneath the gate that's engulfed Seoul's sky, a reporter stated, his voice tight with tension. The gate here is being recorded as the largest one since the appearance of the first gate. As you can see, a number of people have come outside to witness the gate, and their gazes are full of excitement. The reporter, Nick Fulwell from BBN News, continued, I've been talking about a massive amount of magical power gathering for a while now. The giant gate that has appeared over Seoul is only the beginning. There will likely be similarly terrifying gates showing up in other countries soon. Doctor, are you implying that other places are showing signs of abnormality as well? An interviewer asked. Yes, that is precisely what I am saying, the doctor responded grimly. You have been researching the gates and associated phenomena for a while now. Are there any contingency plans you could suggest? A heavy pause followed. Then, we should pray and hope that this unprecedented event doesn't end in tragedy. Above, near the massive gate, a figure grunted in frustration. Strange that I cannot pass through the gate. It's like hitting a wall. If it was like an ordinary wall, I'd simply break it. But a gate that a monarch cannot break through? Would the creatures inside this gate be different from the ones we've seen so far? He paused, his jaw set. No matter what happens, my friends and family are down there. I have no intention of letting these creatures go easily. A phone buzzed. Hello, Chifu Jin Chul, a voice said. Yes, Mr. Hunter. Jin Chul responded. I can't hear you very well. Can I call you back? No need, the voice replied. I'm at a high altitude right now. I think I should call you President Wu Jin Chul now. You can call me whatever you wish, Jin Chul replied. I'm still getting used to this. I don't think I deserve the honor of working in this position. He changed the topic. Did you look into what I asked of you? Yes, replied. I've requested hunter associations from various nations to scan the entire region via satellite, but no other gate has appeared in any other part of the world. You mean, apart from the existing ones? Jin Chul questioned. No new ones have appeared, confirmed. It's been 3 hours since this massive gate appeared. Could it be mere coincidence that, during the past 3 hours, gates all over the world are hiding their presence? It's no coincidence. We are planning to evacuate people located near the gate. We are proceeding in stages to avoid inciting panic. What are you planning on doing, Hunter-san? Jin Chul asked. Even if I don't know what awaits us tomorrow, someone has to plant apple trees, a voice answered, referencing the quote attributed to philosopher Spinoza. Even if I knew the world would end tomorrow, I would continue to plant my apple trees. The scene shifted to the Hunter Association gym. How can I do that, my liege? A muscular figure asked. It's all right. I wanted to get a little exercise, another voice chuckled. You know I have no one but you. I am deeply moved, my liege, the first voice declared. How is your vocabulary improving so fast? You haven't eaten a human, have you? Anyway, let's begin. The massive figure, Beru, trained intensely, his strength palpable. You've reached the rank of general. I see you've become quite strong, said the other figure. But do you know something? The rank general refers to the leader of an army, and there can only be one. Once Igress and Greed reach the lieutenant general rank, they'll catch up to general rank. If you don't want to have your glory stolen, then work harder. The figure sighed. This won't do. Even if Baru is one of my best soldiers, he won't last against the others in a fight. Suddenly a figure kneeled before him. Witnessing Master's immense power, this week's servant cannot help but bow in reverence. I think you should stop watching historical shows for a while, the Master chuckled. Now that we're done with that test, we should start cleaning up. Ah, Mr. President, the servant exclaimed. Please hear me out before getting excited. I have around 300 hardworking ants in a hotel near Seoul. You're not leaving. How can I leave when something this big and beautiful has appeared? It's definitely big, but beautiful? Everything that makes your heart beat faster is beautiful, the servant continued. A fire-breathing dragon, that big gate, and Hunter Sung Jin-Woo's power. Everything possesses a certain beauty, which is why I want to possess it. Everything that I like is beautiful. Now you have something you can never possess, Master, the Master chuckled. Yes, I never knew something like this would appear, the servant conceded. And anyway, there's no gate back home to return to. Yes, but the Hunter's Bureau is getting worried. Worried? That's funny, the Master retorted. What place is safer than beside Hunter Sung Jin-Woo? If we don't stop it here, there will be no safe place to return to anyway, which is why I want to witness it, whether this moment turns out to be the end of humanity or a new beginning. The world was on edge, yet life continued in its peculiar rhythm. In a small apartment, a young woman, Tilda, fidgeted. Mom, aren't we going to run? If we are going to disappear, wouldn't it be better if we got to choose where? Her mother, Gina, sighed. They haven't issued an official evacuation notice for our neighborhood, either. And I'm going to university next year. I can finally enjoy life. And you're talking about departure? Tilda scowled. There is that. Jin-Woo will protect us, like your father protected us. Elsewhere, a figure brooded, his frustration evident. Despite the situation, I still cannot sense them. Where are they hiding that gate? I need to block it. But am I capable of doing so without any unwanted outcomes? I have too much to lose if this is the end for me. Then who should I call? He scanned his contacts, family, mom, Gina, Jin-Ho, all reporters, Park Jong-soo friend, enough. The scene shifted to a training dojo. A woman with a sword paused, her movements hesitant. There's an obstinate sort of hesitancy in your swordsmanship recently, Ms. Han, a voice observed. I'm worried. This is due to some fear you harbor in your heart. Of course, you'd be scared. I would be too. I'd have lost all courage if I'd faced down those beasts like you have, Master. The sword-wielding woman abruptly stopped. An urgent appointment has come up, so I need to leave right now. Yes, that's fine. Go ahead, her instructor responded. So that's what it was indeed. Meanwhile, in a bustling amusement park, whispers rippled through the crowd. Isn't that Hunter Sung Jin-Woo? Where? Wow, it really is Sung Jin-Woo. Who's the girl next to him? His girlfriend? Wait, isn't that Hunter Cha Haein? I thought there'd be fewer people due to the situation, Haein said, looking around, but I was wrong. Do you enjoy visiting places like this? Not really, Jin-Woo replied, but I wanted to experience a place like this, at least once. Why would you bring me to a place you really wanted to visit? Because you're the only friend I have, Han. Jin-Woo chuckled. Here, remember. In front of that weird statue friend? Another voice interrupted. My friend. I've come here to rescue Hunter Sung Jin-Woo. Jin-Woo turned, his eyes narrowing slightly. Why'd you whisper? I could hear you clearly. My sense of hearing is better than average. Did you ever find out what the strange dungeon's true identity was? When I've sorted out my thoughts on it, I'll let you know next time. I'll keep it to myself for now, came the reply. I see, Jin-Woo nodded. But here, look over here too, another voice called. I'm a big fan, Mr. Hunter. Doesn't this make us stand out more? It's all right, as long as we ignore them, Jin-Woo said to Heian. Ah, now that I think about it, Heian said softly, this is the first time I've gone out for fun since I became a hunter nearly 2 years ago. It's different when I'm with him. I feel good. Want to ride that? Sure. What about that? Jin-Woo replied, pointing to a nearby ride. Looks good. What about the one next to it? That looks good too. Everything looks good. Yeah, Jin-Woo agreed. Yes, everything looks good. I see, Jin-Woo chuckled. I wasn't the only one who wanted to visit this place. Then let's ride all of them more. Heian exclaimed. On a roller coaster, another figure asked, Beru, are you getting bored? No, I'm having fun, Beru replied. He means on the rides. Then how come you didn't cry or scream even once, Beru? I guess rides like this wouldn't be exciting for an S-rank hunter. The rides are a bit slow, right? Huh. Oh, right. I'm making this my wallpaper, the figure said excitedly. Then should we try riding something more exciting? They boarded a towering, terrifying ride. How's this? It's fast and really high and beautiful, the figure exclaimed, his voice filled with glee. Up high, suspended over the park, Jin-Woo asked quietly, why would you want to go to an amusement park when you can do this? That amusement park is where the gate that took my dad appeared. So I wanted to go there at least once, Heian replied. Thank you. I've been meaning to thank you properly. You've helped me so much over the years. There's something I'd like to show you. The scene shifted, revealing a drawing on a sketchbook. I guess her art style changed, a voice mused. The Korean Hunter Association logo flashed on the screen, a grim reminder of the looming threat. Whispers circulated, so that monster of a gate will open in a few days. I'm a beer anchor now. I can't be letting my guard down. The scene shifted to a busy street, where people murmured and pointed. Who are you? One man asked nervously. Another voice piped up. Oh, is there a fight going on over there? A third, his voice full of awe, added, Whoa, that guy's really huge. I think he's even bigger than Ma Dong-suk. A fourth chipped in, he's probably a hunter, right? There are only hunters remaining in Seoul after all. A man, his tone mocking, said, But is that other guy out of his mind? Should we call the ambulance for him? He approached a large figure, his voice rising in arrogance. Hey, you need to apologize if you bumped into someone. I'm a beer anchor now, a relatively high-ranking hunter. I'm not the same as my past self, who was licking my boss's boots and was looked down upon by my subordinates. Are you just going to stand there and stare at me? If you did something wrong, you need to apologize and... Suddenly, a chilling sound filled the air. Kaya! A scream filled the air. He ate him. He ate a person. A monstrous figure, towering and terrifying, rose above the crowd. Listen up, you flimsy humans. He bellowed. As of now, I will start hunting you. My teeth and nails will rip apart your weak skin and flesh. I am the king of the beasts, the beast monarch. Stop me if you dare. A calm voice cut through the chaos. I know a hotel around this area that serves really good breakfast. Do you want to go there to wash up and have a meal? Yes, then let's go, came the reply. If I run with my full power, it'll take about 5 minutes. A beat of silence followed, then, didn't you say it was around this area? Just how many kilometers can he run in 5 minutes? The scene shifted to the Hunter Association headquarters, where alarm blared. There's an intruder in the Hunter Association, Chairman Woo Jan-chul. Damn it. Any casualties? We are unable to confirm the exact number as of now, a voice responded. There should be at least a couple of hours left until the dungeon breaks. I've already got my hands full with the gate, and some monster decided to show up. What about Hunter Sung Jin-Woo? We could not get hold of him. If it comes to the worst, I might have to step up myself, Chairman, a worried voice responded. A hunter, who is able to face the monster has appeared. Did Hunter Sung Jin-Woo come? He didn't, but he said he's a world-class hunter who just happened to be around the area. Elsewhere, a figure trembled, his voice laced with desperation. Can I really do this? I won't be disappearing here, will I? Perhaps the reason I stayed in Seoul was because I was destined to face that monster. Back off. You'll only get in my way. A phone rang. Yes, this is Sung Jin-Woo. Did something happen? Hunter-son, why weren't we able to get hold of you until now? A voice asked urgently. I was outside the service zone until now. There's a monster running rampant in the middle of Seoul. No way. But don't we have a few days until the dungeon break? But it's true. What's the approximate number of the enemy? It's not even an approximate number. There's only one. Only one, and every hunter is gathered in Seoul right now. They should be on their edge in order to stop the dungeon break of the gigantic-sized gate, and they are getting overwhelmed by a single magical beast that appeared out of nowhere. An entire guild who came across him was annihilated in an instant. I don't think this is just your normal beast. I've just received a report that Thomas Andre is currently standing off against that beast. Impossible. I put my shadow soldiers on Thomas and the hunters, and I told them to report back to me if even something slightly out of the ordinary happens, a voice muttered in disbelief. And there's a monster who's strong enough to annihilate an entire guild, and I haven't got back a report yet? Hold on, my signal with my shadow soldiers in Seoul is strangely faint. It's almost as if something is purposely making the signal weaker. What's going on? Unable to find the specified shadow soldier. Unable to find the specified shadow soldier. Even the soldiers I was using as coordinators are gone. I think there's a problem in Korea right now. Did the dungeon break happen already? No, I think it's something else, an enemy with overwhelming power. And the world-class hunter who is standing off against them in the hindered signal. Don't tell me, Chairman, does that monster have a shadow? You must confirm whether that monster has a shadow or not. They must have hidden away a colossal monster beyond the invisible shadows. T. Thomas, the Goliath. Another voice stammered. It's the Goliath. Don't just stand there. Start rescuing the citizens, you fools. A furious voice roared. I see. A beast is going rampant without knowing their place, and it's only right for mad beasts to be disciplined. The scene opened with a flurry of activity at a disaster site. How's the evacuation situation here? A voice crackled through a radio, the urgency evident. We are still evacuating the people inside the building, came the response, a note of stress coloring the tone. Which guilds are on the site for subjugation? The Flint Guild and the White Tiger Guild have both been dispatched, the voice replied, the words clipped and precise. Since hunters from everywhere have gathered at the site of the colossal gate, I expect the beast will be contained sooner than later. Another voice chimed in, a touch of forced optimism present. I think that we, the Hunters Guild, just need to focus on evacuation. The beast will be contained sooner than later. An anxious voice broke through, its tone laced with worry. Thomas Andre and a national-level hunter are currently facing off against the mysterious magic beast. This massive presence, it feels even worse than the one I felt during the Jeju Island raid. Just what kind of monster is the Goliath battling? The scene shifted, revealing a chaotic scene. A group of hunters approached the area, their faces grim. Reinforcements. This must be the subjugation site. Everyone, are you ready? As they neared, a collective gasp filled the air, followed by hushed whispers. Is that the magic beast that has been reported to have appeared on the site? One hunter murmured, their eyes wide with a mixture of awe and apprehension. Then that means that person must be the rumored, the Goliath, Thomas Andre. A voice, full of misplaced bravado, yelled out, You're the best Goliath. Take him down. A more seasoned hunter, his face etched with concern, barked back, You dumbass, hurry up and take cover. The battle commenced, the air thick with tension and the ground trembling with each blow. It's definitely not a normal monster, one of the hunters murmured, their voice filled with a trepidation that seemed to hang in the air. Another hunter, determination flashing in their eyes, declared, I should transform as we dash. A different perspective emerged, focusing on an individual trying to stay hidden. The sixth sense of an animal, horror. The struggle to not be recognized as prey. The figure thought, their voice barely a whisper. I can't even make eye contact. On the battlefield, a figure fought with a desperate intensity, their movements a blur of motion. What's this feeling? The figure thought, their mind racing. The feeling of uneasiness is closing in on me. It doesn't feel like I'm going to prevail. A booming voice, laced with a mocking tone, echoed across the battlefield, its power reverberating through the very air. We have to think that a mere puppet of a fragment could be this powerful, the voice stated, its words dripping with a dark amusement. I've seen enough of your petty tricks. Are you afraid? Do you feel fear? Are you despairing? Suddenly, another voice, sharp and icy, cut through the din, its tone sending a shiver down the spine. Looks like there was a little rat here. What were you doing hiding in the shadows? You're in the way. Be gone now. Shall we continue? The voice declared, its words laced with a menacing calm. Since you seem to be confident in your strength, why don't we have a little battle of strength? Who do you think you are, blabbering on so arrogantly? A voice roared back, its tone filled with fury. A brief silence followed, then the chilling response, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm starting to feel hungry again. A figure moved with lightning speed. The scene returned to the main clash between Thomas Andre and the monstrous entity. Thomas, his face a mask of grim determination, roared, I won't let you do as you please. I will not permit you to proceed unchecked, a voice declared, laced with an intensity that belied the speaker's visible tremor. He stood firm, though his body reacted involuntarily to the presence before him. The air hung thick, almost palpable. Just standing near it, the speaker continued, a shiver running down his spine, sends chills through me. A figure, barely visible in the gloom, replied with a low, knowing cadence, I'm well aware. There was a pause, and then the figure continued, their voice resonating with a hunter's confidence. But I'm still a hunter, after all. A warning cut through the quiet menace, retreat. The voice was urgent, the implication clear. It will mean your end. A cold, defiant laugh echoed in response. Even if this becomes my final moment, the first voice countered, rising with determination, I would make this same choice again and again. A glorious end is far preferable to a life without meaning. The speaker's voice grew louder, a mantra repeating, I made the correct choice, the correct choice. Oh, the sound faded into a breath, wrong choice? Silence descended momentarily, broken only by the sound of shifting earth. Then, a desperate plea. I am sorry. A voice cracked with emotion. But please, could you take Thomas to a place of safety? A new voice, smooth and menacing, entered the conversation. So it was true, it mused. I can detect the scent of that shadow creature on this human. The voice was edged with something predatory. Don't concern yourself with us, the voice continued. The intent of this being is substantial, and he is not alone. Another voice rose above the others, incredulous. How can you harness such a vast power, the power of a superior being, whilst existing in a human form? The speaker's tone was a mixture of curiosity and disbelief. The previous menacing voice chuckled, low in its throat. The administrator likely found a means. It's been some time since the Shadow Monarch sealed his agreement with him. A pause, then a cold, calculating query. So I am led to believe this means I can consume the human body? The voice turned thoughtful. I've always held a fascination about how a monarch might taste. Another voice, deep and rumbling, now spoke. The king of the snow folk, the frost monarch, recognizes you as an adversary. Following that declaration, a second voice boomed, just as deep and resonant. The king of the beasts, the beast monarch, sees you as a threat. The gathering shifted. Finally, a third voice joined the chorus, its tone dripping with menace. The king of the insects, the plague monarch, regards you as a foe. The tension was palpable, thick as tar, the air heavy with impending conflict. A new voice broke the silence. Is this the Shadow Army reborn? There might be many of them, the voice continued, now laced with a dangerous amusement. But they're mere nuisances. Your soldiers are powerless within this enclosure. The first voice from the start, now charged with a deep resonance, rose again. You should have left my children undisturbed. It has been far too long since I have witnessed them. The speaker paused, and then continued, incredulous. To think that he was attempting to use such trivial forces to impede us is laughable. The laughter was devoid of warmth. It is an insult to the other monarchs. The speaker's tone shifted again, this time to disbelief. And on top of that, I did not expect that this human would have fully absorbed the Shadow Monarch's power. Though the Shadow Monarch was surely one of the greatest of our kind, one should never underestimate the might of the other monarchs. A single word, laced with malice, punctuated the scene. You. The voice fell into a lower growl, promising a reckoning. I will certainly overpower at least you. Tell me, a voice purred, a silken thread of menace woven into its casual tone. Would you allow me a share in this entertainment? The unspoken implication hung heavy in the air, promising a shift in the already tense dynamic. A second voice, dripping with scorn, immediately responded, That degenerate. She's desecrating a fallen body. The contempt was palpable, thick enough to choke the space between the speakers. A moment of stillness, charged with unspoken challenges, was shattered by a voice that dared to mock. You honestly believe, the voice sneered, incredulity coloring its tone, that you can inflict any lasting harm with a mere sliver of metal? The words were a gauntlet thrown down, daring a response. A reply came, not with anger but with a chilling calm. I concede that such a feat might have been impossible, the voice admitted, had it been simply an ordinary piece of metal. The statement was a veiled threat, a subtle hint of a power beyond comprehension. A single, bewildered, "What?" broke the tense silence, a fleeting moment of genuine confusion amidst the rising conflict. The scene shifted, the air thickening with possessive rage. That insect of a woman, a voice spat, each word laced with venom, dares to lay her hands upon my leech. My leech. The phrase was repeated, a possessive mantra, my leech, each repetition fueled with a growing fury. A series of guttural, enraged cries echoed through the space. Kai, e, e, e. The sounds were primal, unrestrained, signaling a descent into uncontrolled fury. One of my own shadow soldiers, a voice declared, its tone a mix of disbelief and outrage, has broken free of my binding spell. How can an entity, of such a commander's rank, possibly be under the influence of a mere human? The voice grew louder, fueled by disbelief. A single shadow soldier of commander level, it emphasized, is practically a manifestation of unstoppable force. The voice dropped, becoming colder, more menacing. A child who fails to recognize their parent, it concluded, each word a pronouncement of doom, is in dire need of correction. A strange, mirthless chuckle, like the scraping of bones, pierced the air. Kiki! The sound was followed by a shout, filled with incandescent rage. You deranged creature! What? A new voice, filled with a strange blend of awe and admiration, cut through the chaos. You remained unaffected, it commented, even when in opposition to beings of superior existence. The tone was filled with a sense of wonder. Another voice chimed in, its tone reverent. As anticipated from my lord, I am perpetually in a state of wonder regarding the boundless extent of your capabilities. The perspective shifted once more, focusing on a confrontation that promised devastation. How much longer can you resist? A voice taunted, its tone dripping with arrogance. Against the coordinated pressure of our advance? A reply came, not with fear but with an almost bored confidence. I've already communicated that, the voice responded, you will not be leaving this place in a functional state. An outraged roar echoed through the space. You audacious fool! How dare a human address a monarch, a being such as myself, with such insolence? The words were heavy with regal fury, a challenge that could not be ignored. A worried voice broke through the rising tide of tension. He sustained a hit in the central region. The speaker paused, thoughtful. I surmise that will be insufficient to render them incapacitated. A voice, rich with authority, boomed across the scene. My liege, my title is Croatia, monarch of the plagues. I am the genesis of every insect that crawls. Though you, a thankless insect, do not acknowledge your origin, I shall embrace you as one of my own. Release me, a desperate voice screamed, panic threading through the words. This is where your path ends. A command, sharp and demanding, sliced through the air. You senseless subordinates, what are you lingering for? Hasten to aid our lord. Another voice, thick with anticipation, declared, I shall be the one to extinguish the final flicker of life from our adversaries. That entity, a voice observed, its tone edged with grudging respect, must have possessed considerable power in its previous existence. The same voice continued, a hint of apprehension seeping in. Shadow soldiers of a superior designation have started to materialize. A calm, yet chilling, voice cut through the mounting tension. However, the nature of your wound is of a critical magnitude. The games are concluded. Are you speaking about this? The question hung in the air, a challenge laced with power. Status effect reversal. A final voice acknowledged, its tone a mix of shock and grudging recognition. The statement hung in the air, implying that the game was about to change. New York, London. The words were a low murmur, a litany of global power centers, each name carrying a weight of unspoken significance. Shanghai, Paris. The recitation continued, each city a marker in a growing storm. A voice, laced with apprehension, cut through the almost hypnotic chant. It's almost as if a storm is swirling around hunter Sung Jin-Woo. The name hung in the air, charged with a potent mix of fear and wonder. What is happening? The speaker's voice trembled slightly. Another voice, closer to panic, replied, I feel like I'm witnessing the world's end. The scale of the events was clearly overwhelming. Is he really the Sung Jin-Woo I know? A question, tinged with disbelief, hung in the air, questioning the very nature of what was unfolding. I knew that he was a hunter capable of growth, a voice admitted, but just how much stronger has he become in such a short span of time? The unspoken question echoed, emphasizing the rapid transformation that defied all expectations. A low, guttural growl broke the tense silence. That wretch? The tone was one of simmering fury, a warning of impending conflict. The creator revealed a prophecy to me, a voice declared, its tone a mixture of resignation and defiance, that my existence would conclude at the hands of the pillar of flames that supports this world. But what he failed to mention was whether that pillar would actually fall or not. A sense of grim anticipation permeated the words. I've been positioned for an extended period, waiting to strike, a voice admitted, frustration clear in its tone. But this is clearly a situation I cannot intercede in. A grudging acknowledgement of overwhelming force. From 30 minutes prior, a voice stated, its tone clinical. The elite operatives of the Faint Guild have been dispersed across the surrounding structures. Once they receive the designated signal, they will unleash a barrage of support fire upon the opposition like an intense storm. The speaker paused, the implication hanging heavy in the air. We may be able to apply significant damage to the enemy. A voice, edged with despair, responded. But if that were to occur, how many of us would remain? We would be consumed if we failed to strike. We would still be consumed, even if the strike was successful. The futility of the situation was painfully clear. Our adversary is a being that not even Thomas Andre could subdue. The speaker's tone reached a level of grim acceptance. It seems as though the time for us to be making a decision is coming. Just settle back and observe, a voice commanded, a hint of forced bravado in its tone. Who's there? The sudden shift in focus indicated a potential new element entering the fray. Hunters gathered for the purpose of subjugation and evacuation of magical beasts, a voice stated matter-of-factly, and not a single one of them has been able to intervene in the ongoing conflict. The weight of the battle was clear. They were simply waiting for the most favorable circumstances, the speaker continued. The conclusion to the battle seemed imminent. A gasp of realization broke through the tension. It must be some form of toxic agent. The voice was urgent. The effects are still evident in the surrounding environment. A cold, dismissive voice replied, poison will have no effect on me. The speaker's confidence was absolute. Initiating detoxification sequence. The words were clipped, precise. Sequence successful, the voice added, a note of dark amusement coloring its tone. You impudent being. A furious voice, filled with unbridled rage, roared, I shall tear you into countless pieces. The threat hung in the air, a promise of unimaginable violence. An overwhelming force, a voice admitted, laced with resignation. I cannot counter it. Initiating skill, immutability, another voice calmly stated. So, a voice, tinged with a strange sense of calm, acknowledged, this must be the experience of profound darkness, a deep void that humbles even us, who were born from the void. The voice was filled with a sense of wonder. How brilliant this darkness is. A voice, devoid of emotion, announced, you have overcome Croatia, monarch of plagues, and one of the 9 monarchs. A series of disembodied announcements followed. Your level has increased. Your level has increased. Your level has increased. The mechanical tone emphasized the rapid accumulation of power. How is this possible? A voice asked in shock. He should not be able to fully command the Shadow Monarch's power. Yet, a voice pointed out, incredulous. A new voice rose above the others, so we will experience again the fear towards one of the strongest monarchs that once dominated this universe. Do not be so apprehensive of him, a voice countered, dismissive. He is clearly depleted, and the fact that he relies on such trivial means clearly illustrates he is not complete. The speaker's words were laced with a subtle threat. An incomplete monarch cannot obstruct the path of true monarchs. Barry's essence is dissipating, a voice announced, concern evident in its tone. Did he sever the shadow essence that was attached to Thomas Andre? The same way he did with Summon, the speaker said slowly before continuing. Cancel Baru. Return? 2 electronic voices responded in unison. You cannot retract the specified subject. The mechanical pronouncements emphasize the limits of power. I managed to avoid Barrow's demise, a voice declared, a hint of satisfaction in its tone. However, King of the Beasts, you are correct. Human, a voice boomed, the tone laced with condescension. It seems that you are unduly confident with the power you have, which is not truly yours. Even if you exercise it by manipulating these puppets, we need only to sever the strings to release them. The words were a clear challenge, a display of power. I will confine your puppets under my influence and subject them to perpetual healing and revitalization. The voice paused, reveling in the power it wielded. Then, your soldiers will become mere parasites that eat away at your spirit. Now what will you do? Human cook, a new voice mocked, the challenge evident in its tone. He's not present, a confused voice whispered, highlighting a sudden shift in the battle. His swiftness is considerable, a voice admitted, grudgingly. Your stealth capabilities must rely upon a substantial energy consumption. The speaker's voice hardened. I will bring an end to this swiftly. Motion, sight, breathing, muscle energy flow. The words were muttered, fragmented, a desperate attempt to understand the unfolding events. I can see them. If only I can match his swiftness, even for a brief moment. I am uncertain what your designs are, a voice stated, dismissive, but they will be futile. I have you. A triumphant cry was heard as one combatant seemed to have gained the upper hand. It seems your confidence is misplaced, a voice mocked, without the speed you held so dearly. Status, a voice requested, cold and analytical. Name, Sung Jin-Woo, class, Shadow Monarch, level, 146, titles, Demon Hunter, and 2 others. HP, 93,300. MP, 1,557,200. Fatigue, 0, Strength 324, Stamina 320, Agility 340, Intelligence 340, Perception 321. AP, 0, Physical Damage Reduction, 65%. Magical Damage Reduction, 44%. Passive Skill, Unknown, Level Max, Tenacity, Level 1. Advanced Dagger Art, Level Max. The recitation was a clinical assessment of a power that defied simple classification.